over 49,000 people died by suicide in 2022. That is one death every 11 minutes. This information is provided to us by the CDC, which means that suicide has become the #1 preventable cause of death in the world today. I'm Truman Lammers, and today I'll be talking to you about suicide prevention. Suicide prevention is very important to me, as I myself have been directly affected by suicide by the loss of a classmate in recent years. First, I'll introduce you to some causes of suicide. The first and most prominent cause of suicide is mental illness. This comes in many different forms for many different people, including anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder, and many others. Another cause of suicide is loss of family or friends. Grief and times of loss are very hard on others and can cause suicidal thoughts. Other causes are feelings of insignificance, whether that's the loss of a job or just feeling as you're not enough. Loneliness and lack of belonging also have been proven to be causes of suicide and suicidal thoughts. Now that we know some causes of suicide, it's time to look at how it affects others, as suicide does not just affect the one who loses their life, but it also affects the family and friends that are surrounding this person throughout their life. They are affected, and oftentimes one suicide can lead to others as they deal with the loss and feel as though they could have done more when that person was around. I'm here to prevent this chain of despair and grief through the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. I believe the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention is one of the greatest charities around today and is a prime example of what we need to do to help stop suicide in the world today. How exactly is this foundation helping? First, they're going in and helping people find a purpose. I believe this is the most important piece of suicide prevention, as those who are lost and looking for a way out often don't know what their life stands for or what they want to do with their time here. So the AFSP helps them find a purpose, find a drive, figure out what they care about, and give themselves purpose. Next, they help build communities. As we saw before, loneliness can be a common cause in suicide. So it is important for people to feel as though they are something bigger than themselves and to have multiple other people around them to make their life feel more full. AFSP also helps with advocacy and awareness, making people aware of this problem and this issue and letting them know that they can be a part of the fight against suicide. AFSP also makes help available, whether that's in the form of psychiatrists, psychologists, a counselor, or just a friend to talk to when times are rough and suicidal thoughts are arising. Like many other organizations, AFSP also helps with research and education. That's where a lot of their funds end up going to, and is a very important piece to understanding suicide better and figuring out what we can do to help. Now that we know what AFSP does, it's time to learn how we can help. Like many organizations, you can of course donate funds and volunteer your time, but I understand that not everyone has the time or money to participate in such activities. That is where I think AFSP separates themselves from other organizations. The first way to do this is their Share Your Story organization. It is a piece of their website where you can share your story with others and put your side of the story out there. Your story of suicide prevention and your battle with suicide can inspire others and help them show that there's a light at the end of the tunnel and that they're not fighting alone. Another piece of their website is their Conversations tab. So often people are alone and find themselves with no one to talk to. The Conversations tab allows people struggling with suicidal thoughts to connect with one another and talk about something that means a lot to them and that they care deeply about. These conversations have a mass effect on multiple people, as just opening up and being able to talk can help in so many ways. One example of this is Angel Perry. Angel Perry was on the brink of committing suicide when she found herself at a family reunion having a conversation with her little 2-year-old nephew. Her nephew helped her find purpose. She realized that if I could not live for myself, then I must live for my nephew. She went on and got the help that she needed driven by her love for her nephew. And now she is happy and healthy as ever and advocates for suicide prevention all over the world. As she, a person who did not see the light at the end of the tunnel, can now see it and has now reached it and wants to spread that love to others. I believe Dr. S. Begum, a popular clinical psychiatrist, said it best when she said, "Suicide is 100% preventable." Suicide is so often thought about this disease that cannot be cured and that people who struggle from suicidal thoughts are always going to be like that. That is not true. With the proper health and the proper help, people with suicidal thoughts can be helped and can be cured. And suicide can be completely eliminated, not just reduced, in an ideal world. In order to create this ideal world, we must join the fight. I'm asking you today to do whatever you can, whether that's support the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention or simply strike up a conversation with an old friend who might be going through a hard time. You never know what your little piece of help could do to help create a world without suicide. Go out today and do whatever you can to help those around you. Thank you. I've been Truman Lamers.
Mom and Jennifer, Grandma, Grandpa, Dad.